So hello guys and welcome back to another video. I'm Remco and I have been sim racing for a long time, like a really long time. And I remember back in the day when iRacing, when I actually still played iRacing, they had their championships. Well, actually championships. They just had a point system tied to their public races. And I was like, that's not really a championship in my eyes. And so I once asked if like they could do an official championship, maybe per series, maybe just at like famous series, which like got a lot of drivers in there. And pretty much the entire community was like, no, which surprised me because. Yeah, multiple reasons, which I'm gonna get into a bit later, because Le Mans Ultimate also has, these days, online championships. So you've got the weekly, the daily, weekly and special events. Those are just single races, nothing is tied to it. Your ratings get calculated based on your results, sure. But there's also this part called online championships. Great idea. When they released this, I was actually kind of hyped about this. And currently I'm doing my second full season. And I recently just got gold, so I decided to join the World Endurance Championship with 915 entries. Yeah. Le Mans Ultimate, I have to say, has improved a lot since launch. And I'm really happy to play it. I will drive in the Virtual Endurance Championships, which probably I will live stream to this channel, so keep your eyes open for that. I will do the special events, which are very fun. Driver swaps are, well, still not properly released, but there are some test races right now which use it, and I very much enjoy it. I enjoy the driving, but... And this is where the rant comes in. Championships. How does a championship work? Well, let's start off with like how it works in Le Mans Ultimate. You sign up for a championship. You choose a time slot. Different championships have multiple attempts. This one only has one attempt. So you choose a time slot and you pretty much like click register and you're in for that race. Now, great, you can join a championship, that's great. But who actually are you racing in a championship? Well, as you can see, there are multiple time slots, which brings me to my first problem. How are you in a championship when you're in a completely different race to the others? Like, I understand that if splits are too large, that there will be like multiple splits based on your rating. But over here, you're not even in the same driving at the same time. You're not driving one race, which is just tiered in different splits because there are too many drivers. No. Some people choose to drive at different time, and so you will never be able to race them. And you are not racing them. Yet, you end up on the same points table. If you go to leaderboards here, I can show you, or the standings, because there's a difference between that. I'm currently 7th. But for some reason they've got this driver rank thing, so I go to overall and I'm 10th. Best scoring Valkyrie, because McNewman has done the second race already, which I haven't. Which is already weird in my eyes that you can have one race more than the others, but sure. As you can see, a lot of people are silver rated. Silver 2 is probably the most common. And there's David Mrocek. He is a very good driver and he deserves his gold rating, but he's the only one with his gold 2 rating. The higher ratings are in your server, that decides on how many points get dished out. This does bring a problem though. First off, you're not racing against the people that are in the championship. Second off, I got second in my race. I'm 10th. Which doesn't make sense, as I'd say usually, maybe if everyone drove at the same time it would not be the case, but then it would be fair game. Usually I am top split. And over here, looking at the ratings, looks like I would be top split as well. So I would be racing David. But now I'm not, because he decides to drive a different race. But what also happens here is that David pretty much decides when the strongest race will be. And this opens a can of worms. If you want to go for a championship and you want to gain as many points, you now have to look at when David is going to drive. But here's the catch. You don't know when he has driven. You can't know when he is going to drive. Well, maybe if you were looking through every single entry and see if he drove there. But you don't know when he drives. And as you can see, over 900 entries. And today there were already 2 races with 24 drivers. So everything is segregated. There's no one big race. It's like all these tiny races. And not even just different for different time zones. No, also different days for one championship. Why would you do that? It just segregates everyone over 100 different time slots for no reason whatsoever. Of course, there is this thing where people are like, yeah, but maybe some people want to drive at a different time. But you can. And the championship, you don't need a championship for that. There's daily races which give that. You can drive whichever series you want, as many times as you want. The points don't matter. If you care about the points, you would join a championship and you would race at the time that the championship is running. But the way as it is right now, you're not running in a championship. Okay, it's the bare minimum to be legally calling it a championship, but it's not a championship. You're just racing some people, you get points, but other people that drive a completely different race also get points and more, even though they might be even slower than you. It just doesn't make sense, and this I really want to be changed. Because there is no way to see when the strongest race will be. There is no way to know who's driving where, aside from clicking on it and just scroll through the list of drivers. Like who's where. Well, David is not driving here, but he can register like 5 minutes ahead of the race. So, and this is the problem where I'm running it. So, I totally understand that they want to do different time zones, but please, motorsport games, Le Mans Ultimate, Studio 397, please just make one championship. Well, let's just say per championship. Be able to register and select which time zone you want to drive in. North America, Asia, or European. Maybe Australian, maybe usually they drive with the Asian time zone. But for a Saturday race, that there is no reason to have so many different races. Just make it one race. Everyone joins that. If you don't join, you don't join. You can have maybe multiple championships, like for example, the World Endurance Championship. Make an EU WEC, make a North America WEC, make an Asian WEC, and have those 3 different championships. So a European can still drive the Asian one if he wants, if that is better for him time-wise. But at least you're in the same championship as the people you are actually racing. And I hated this about iRacing, and I don't know why LMU is copying it. So, this was a little bit of my rant. I still love Le Mans Ultimate a lot, and I will be driving it a lot. I just hope that this gets addressed in the future, and this is not the only thing that bothers me, by the way. I will probably make more videos. One of them, of course, will be the damage model again at some point. But at this moment, this is my biggest problem I'm having, because the championships don't feel like a championship to me. So thank you guys for listening to my rant, if you got this far. And I hope to see you in the next videos and maybe in my live streams for the Virtual Endurance Championship.